Hello and welcome to another video from In3D Software. Today I want to talk about Mars bars and how we can use secret drawers to hide Mars bars. So I'm going to design a piece of furniture for my living room that's going to have a secret drawer, and during this tutorial we'll look at gaps and how we can control drawer gaps and drawer protrusions. Okay, so let's go to the Designer tab, Article Designer, specify our product size. So our height will be 800 by 1200 by 450, and I'm going to drop that product down here. Let's zoom in a little. We want to include a kicker, so we'll specify that in here. We want a top that is onset, a bottom, and then we want a left and a right as well. And then I need a back panel. And then in here, I want to change that back panel to be a fully carcass back panel. I need a adjustable shelf, sorry, a fixed shelf that is going to be 160 millimeters up from the underside. And then in the lower section in here, I want a singular adjustable shelf that is going to be evenly split, and we'll put some double doors on there as well. In the upper section, we can then go to the dividers and split this with a partition, and I'm going to use a linear division of 1 to 200 millimeters to 1 to give me 3 zones. And in that middle zone, what I'm going to do is put my hidden Mars bar drawer. So what I need to do is set my partitions back. So I'm going to go to the front section of the upper part here, and then go to the trims and say this should have a divider inset of 20 mil. I can then specify that that drawer is in here, an in-house drawer without a pull. So I've made that drawer box, and then what I want to do is set this as an inset drawer, and I want to turn off the design parameter gaps. So now I've got full control over the drawer fronts, and I can say that this should go all the way over to the left hand side, then all the way over to the right hand side, and I want it to come back 1 mil from those partitions. And then in here I'm going to say I want a 1 mil gap top and bottom as well, so this is going to minimize my gaps around this hidden drawer. Then I want to go over to the right hand drawer, add that in, and again this is going to be an in-house drawer box that is now going to have no design parameter control. So I'm going to say that that should come up and down to the underside, and then I want it to be 3 mil inset on the right, and I want it to come over and join up with this line here to hide my drawer front. So I'm going to say minus 98.5 to then pull that across. Okay. Now I want to do that on the other side as well, and let's just increase this gap here. I'm going to say that that should be just 1 mil there, I think. And then what I want to do is do that on the other side. So let's put that other drawer in there. Again, this is going to be a drawer that's made in-house, no gap control, 1 mil gap to the bottom, 3 mil gap to the underside of the top, 3 mil gap to the left, and I want it to fly over minus 98.5. So that's now going to go over to the right hand side. This all looks good, so let's bring this in. And what I want to do now is maybe change some settings on my materials, because I want this to all be the same material, and we'll go with a nice unicolor, some sort of grey perhaps. So I'll go to the article related variables, and in here I want to go to basic data materials for the carcass, and I'm going to say that that should be using a dark lava grey 18 mil board in matte, and I want the same material for my fronts, and I want slightly more modern handles, perhaps these tab handles here. Yeah, this is more like it. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is maybe make some minor alterations, and then we'll put this into production. So I'm going to go back up into wireframe mode, go into my top view, and in here I'm going to just start a polyline command, which is going to go this way with an arc and a radius of, I don't know, 4 meters, let's say. And then I can snap this off. And I just want to pull that line just to clear those handles, just so that I don't catch my gene pocket on the handles. So let's pull that out. And now what I can do is say that that edge should snap to that line. So let's go and select the top edge of that worktop and say that that should follow my polyline. That looks good. And then what I want to do is maybe just put some cable management into that lower section in there as well. So I'll say UCS view, and in here what I want to do now is draw a circle with a 2 point. So I'll say 2 points in here. From that point there, it's going to come all the way up, and the diameter is going to be 100 mil. There we go. Now what I can do is switch back to a realistic view, and then in here choose my pack and say that that should be a circle as a pocket in there. Okay, let's save the job. So I'm going to save this now as Mars bar storage. Click save. And then what I want to do is just increase my level of detail and create some outputs. So I'm going to go up to a level 6. And in here we can now see that I've got all of my details in here. And what I want to do now is switch to a realistic view. I can go into output, and under VR link I can create a scene here now. So I've got a nice looking perspective view. We'll go to presentation, and we can see now that I've got, when I open up my drawers here, my super secret Mars bar drawer in behind for storage purposes. Okay, let's just position this view. We'll maybe open up these doors as well, get a view of the inside, and we'll just adjust the exposure, soft light, make it a bit brighter. Let's render that out. Okay, this is looking good. Let's save that. Close that down. And then what I want to do is close the scene down. And then we'll go and create some outputs. So what I want to do now is create a presentation document. So I can go to the output tab again, and this time I'll use iX Showcase. So I can choose in here what I want my settings to be in here. So I'll say that I want this to be a level 6, a high level, and quite a high level file. I'll select what I want. And then click apply. And this will now transfer the data to the servers to upload an online model for viewing. So it's created a link. It's going to create an email for me to send to my customer. And in this case, what I'm going to do is just open up my internet browser. And I can then paste my link in, and you can see I've now created my 3D model to show to my customer. So this is a nice, quick, easy way of sharing that data with my end user. Now what I want to do is generate some CNC data. So I'll go to Start, save the order, and I'll generate CNC data. And what I'm going to do now is use the new iX nesting functionality. So I'm going to run it down a Biesse nesting route, but I'm going to have all of the optimization for the nesting done within imos. So it's generated all of the parts. It's now finding the best yield for my sheet material. Okay, so here's my report showing me all of my individual parts that have been generated. And if I scroll down to the bottom, here now are my nested sheet results as well. Here's my nesting report showing me my material usage and wastage. Okay, and now if I go to my programs in here, I can open up that folder within Biesse. So let's open up my Biesse software and we'll go to my job. So there's my draw box parts, and I want my other part in here. And you can see here's my nesting results. Okay, so now that I've got my nesting results, I now want to pass more information out into production. So what I can do is save my order again, but this time what I want to do is go to Document Manager and create an iX Scout output. Save that. And by going to Organizer, once this is saved with Document Manager, we'll be able to see the prices for the product. And we'll also be able to upload to iX Scout. So in here you can see, if we go to Order Manager, we should have our Mars bar storage here, and it's costing just under £600. And if we go to our customer data, header data, you can see that we can add in our preview image. Go to our documents, and we'll attach in here our render, and we'll also upload this up to Scout. So now what we want to do is go to iX Scout and upload this. Once uploaded, we can go to our web browser, go to iX Scout, and if we scroll all the way down, here is the Mars bar storage. Let's open this up and have a look at the production information. So as showcase, we have our 3D model that we can orbit around, but this time we can select parts and we can see drawing information. We can create markups and pass information back to the factory or the production team. Thanks for watching. If you've got any questions about iX Showcase, iX Scout, or the new internal nesting features within iX23, please let us know.